Benedict, if you fall for Vivian's lies, then you're a bigger fool than I thought. Vivian is CEO because you fell for her lies. So what does that make you? Before she stole Russell Jewelers, there was no way of knowing that your grandfather was unfaithful and created an illegitimate baby with the family cook. Are you willing to tarnish our family's legacy by refusing to help me? She's pregnant, Dee Dee. Getting into trouble is the last thing she and her unborn baby need, especially since she's so young. I get that Yvette ain't showing yet, but I sure ain't forget that she's pregnant either, Vanessa. Just let me deal with it. Then you should realize that being pregnant is a big deal. Yvette is about to be a mom, but she's still got a lot of growing up to do. If she's asking you to keep a serious secret, then you're not obliged to keep it. Dell is trying to come after me? How? As if he'd share the details with me. How much do you know? Would it make you chill out when you find out that he'll get the Dorvals and the Russos to come after you as well? Clearly those families don't like you either, Owen. Powerful families. And I've got a powerful ally in Pacho Torres, a member of the most influential family in town, Wanda. You don't need to worry. I'm not worried about you, Owen. I'm worried that there will be an unnecessary battle, since it's clear that this election is getting too heated. Just stop acting foolish, because even with Pacho Torres on your side, this is a war you cannot win. Try to breathe, Isidore. Just because Ben won't help you find dirt on Vivian doesn't make it the end of the world. How are you so calm, Isabel? Vivian is dating your son. Her connection with Wade Apina could place Pacho in danger. I'm well aware of that, Isidore, and I don't like it one bit. But Ben is still your family. You can't just paint him as the enemy just like Vivian is. How exactly do you expect me to look at my nephew when he's siding with Vivian over his family once again? It's been a while since you stopped by, Max, which means you understand how much it hurt me when you knew that Vivian was Nono's daughter all along. I never would have kept her secret if I knew what she was up to. And I'm sorry. Hurting you like that was the last thing I wanted to do. You've got to believe me. Let me make something clear to you, Dee Dee. If you value our friendship, then you won't tell anyone what I just told you. No one else can find out that Zeke got me pregnant. So again, Dee Dee, how come my cousin, who is usually full of life, seems so down lately? What do you mean there's a serious threat against your campaign? It's Udell Mitchell. He's trying to come after me. Come after you how? He plans to scheme with the Russos and the Dorvals to somehow sabotage my campaign. How do you even know this, Owen? Udell is trying to come after me? How? As if he'd share the details with me. How much do you know? Would it make you chill out when you find out that he'll get the Dorvals and the Russos to come after you as well? From what I understand, Isidore, Ben never chose sides before or after Vivian took over Russo Jewelers. Of course he chose sides, Isabel. Before Vivian became CEO, he was the first person to sign over his shares to her. And since he refuses to look into her like I asked, it gives that spawn an advantage. Well, Ben isn't going to change his mind. What are you going to do now? My dad is so eager to bond with Vivian, maybe he'll have to be the one to figure out what she's up to. I never thought you'd ever hurt me that bad, Ben. Neither did I. Look, Max, ever since you were born, I did my best to be a good older brother and look out for you. Just like what? Like how Elvira looked out for me when I was alive. Thinking back, I failed badly as a big brother. Falling into addiction didn't make me a good influence. And then I let you down by allowing Vivian to steal Russo Jewelers. Even when you faced your battle with substances, I always knew that you did your best, Ben. Don't get me wrong, I was really upset that you allowed Vivian to take away my chances at running Russo Jewelers someday. But I was also upset that you chose her over your own brother. Why does everyone care what's going on in my life lately? Maybe because you've got a family who loves you and wants to make sure that you're alright. I'm good, Shelly. Are you sure? Fine. I might not be doing as good as I just said. Someone who's close to Udell gave me this information. Don't you think I'd be concerned about you being so vague? The source was pretty vague about Udell's scheme against me. So what do you want me to do, Owen? It should be obvious that I need for the two of us to come up with an idea to keep Udell from succeeding. Vivian convinced Ben that she wasn't in contact with Weda Pina. She is also the daughter, which Lorenzo never knew existed all of her life. What makes you think your father will believe you when you bring this up? He probably won't believe me, Isabel. But as long as he can get along with Vivian, then he'll find out what sort of criminal his golden child truly is. That's not what happened, Max. And I promise that I'll never choose anyone over you. I'm not saying this to shame you, Ben, but you chose substances over me in the past. And I'm clean now. The thing is that when Vivian came to town and I found out that she was Nono's illegitimate daughter, it was complicated. I couldn't be the one to turn our family's life upside down. So you gave her the option to do that all on her own. I gave her the option to tell Nono the truth, Max. Not to steal his company from under him. I get that, Ben. Does that mean you don't blame me for Vivian becoming CEO? Whatever it is, I'm here to listen to you if you want to share. My friend swore me to secrecy, Shelly. And I guess it's a secret that's too heavy to carry? It's not just the secret, Shelly. It affects another friend of mine, and I can't say anything at all. Where do you expect us to even start? Neither of us know what Udell's got up his sleeve, but we do know what sort of cracks there are in his little alliance. The Dorvals had legal issues with the Russos in the past. As for Udell, his daughter and Max Russo dealt with a long legal battle, and they all set their differences aside to keep you from becoming the next district attorney. Exactly, Mr. Torres. They had major differences with one another before, and they can experience major differences again. Do you honestly believe that Vivian will show that side to your father? Gianni, Elvira, and I grew up with our dad in our lives. Vivian didn't get that opportunity. She might pretend like it doesn't affect her, but I know it does. And she'll long to be close to my dad. Once that happens, he'll realize that his precious little angel isn't so innocent. I get that you weren't conspiring with Vivian to take over Russo Jewelers, Ben. I understand that she fooled you too. So are we good? We're good. Sounds like you don't know who to be loyal to, Didi. Ma pedis amimwe, simwe lage shatla, mbakonen ki mapfe. If your friend is a true friend, then tell her how you feel. It might just encourage her to tell the truth. And how exactly do you plan to turn them against one another? Simple. You and I need to figure out how to make the Dorvals distrust the Russos again. As for Udell, he'll have to find a way to be angry at the same woman who tried to put his only child in prison.